Oh, hi there, everyone. Welcome to another Cardwell's Cauldrons here on Geektopia Island. I'm Cardwell.
And I'm Kevin.
And we always have to go down this good old road here for the deck. But before we get into this funness, of course, go in and remind you that we do have a Patreon. It only takes $1 to support us. And we love you very much if you do so. And the link will be down below for it. Now, getting into it, we have to do it every time. It's good old Mill Road.
Yep.
Milltown Road.
Old Milltown Road.
Old Milltown Road. Yep. There's some cards that support it, and we'll see if we can get there.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
It's not too bad. Not too bad. So the first mill card, of course, of the deck is blue-black. Well, the first card is Merfolk, Secretkeeper. It's a 1-drop 0/4, which might not seem much, but it goes onto a Venture. And it's a Venture Deeper. It's 1 blue sorcery. Target player puts the top 4 cards of the library in the graveyard. So there you go.
Yeah.
So turn 1, they mill 4, and then hopefully turn 2, you have the 0/4 to protect yourself. So it's not too bad. It's just simple as that.
It does pretty well for me in 1 blue, because you're just like 1 blue, get rid of 4 cards.
Yeah.
Pretty good status.
Not too bad.
Next up is the Overwhelmed Apprentice. 1 blue for a 1/2. And he comes into play, each opponent puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. Then you scry 2.
Yeah, so the mill power isn't too much, but you get to scry 2, which is not too bad.
Yeah.
And of course we have to have it, and I think it's, you don't really want to get aggressive with your mill decks, but sometimes you have to. And it's a Thief of Sanity. It's 1 blue and black flying, and everyone should be remembered of this card. It's a 2/2 flyer. When a Thief of Sanity deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of the player's library, exile 1 of them face down, and put the rest in the graveyard, and then you could play that card by paying its mana cost and stuff. And you don't have to have the color for it too, so it mills them 3, and you get to hopefully do something against them for sure. So, solid card.
Next up is Discovery Dispersal. It is one of the split cards, so you can play either one. Mm-hmm. And its Discovery is blue-black hybrid, so 1 of those and then 1. For a sorcery, surveil 2, then draw a card. Which is okay to help you get there.
Yeah.
And then the Dispersal is a blue, black, and 3. Each opponent returns a non-land permanent they control with the highest confirmed mana cost among they control to their hand. They discard a card.
Yep. So instant speed, be able to just move their bigger dude or whatever they have, and then of course Discovery. The early game, you're just trying to filter out what you need.
Yep.
Now with also the new cards is Drown in the Loch. It's a blue-black instant, and you get to choose one. Counter target spell with converted mana cost equal or less than the number of cards in the controller's graveyard, which can be really powerful. And also destroy target creature with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of cards in the controller's graveyard. So you're milling, and so you can pay 2 to kill whatever you want, pretty much, or to counter whatever you want.
Kill or counter. Oh, you're playing like a board wipe? No, I don't want that. Or your big dude's in my way? He dies.
Yeah, he just straight up dies. It's really good.
Next up is Drown Secrets, a blue and 1 enchantment. Whenever you cast a blue spell, target player puts the top 2 of their library into their graveyard.
Now, every mill deck needs an incidental mill that makes them go over the top. Sadly, this is no Sphinx's Revelation, right? So this is the best that we got. So you just play it, and then you just play cards, and then you mill. Like, that's all that happens, really. Now, this one, it's a little too fancy, and I like it because I played it in Arena. It was really good. Folio of Fancies. It's a 1 and a blue artifact. Player has no maximum hand size. Like, okay. And then it has an activated ability of XX. Each player draws X cards, so you have to essentially pay 2 for 1. And then 2 and a blue tap. Each opponent puts a number of cards equal to the number of cards in their hands from the top of their library into the graveyard. So this is where you get them. Like you go into the draw phase, you pay 3 tap, hopefully they mill up to 4 plus cards,
Yeah.
And you get to do this every time. And it's really fun.
Yeah, this card's ridiculous because I played it in draft this weekend and you're just like, cool.
Yeah.
Into your turn, let's both draw 4 cards. And they're like, what? You're like, I have nothing else to do, so let's draw 4.
Yeah.
And then, my turn, I'm going to make you mill at least 8.
Yeah. And there's a reason why old school milling decks used to have Howling Mind. Because essentially drawing them is milling them. You're getting to the same...
Sure, it gives them another option to get out of it, but it also mills them cards.
Yeah, that's why you're playing blue, to negate whatever they drew, pretty much. The next one is Tyrant Scorn. It's a blue and a black instant. Choose one. Destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less, so good, thank you. And then return target creature to its owner's hand, which if it's 3 or more, or 4 or more, then you just bounce it to their hand. So, simple as that.
Next up is our girl Ashiok, the Dream Render. She's 1 and blue-black hybrids, so 3 mana total. Spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause their controller to search their library. And then -1, target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. Then exile each opponent's graveyard.
Yeah, so it slightly counteracts with the other cards in there. That's why we only have 2. But it's essentially just top 4 cards every turn. Can you deal with that? Pretty much. That's super good. And it could also be moved in sideboard immediately or just at the first, of course. Now the next one is we have to have a board wipe. Ritual of Soot. It's the best one we got right now for black. And it destroys all creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. Simple as that.
Yep, you just because you're playing Milt, so you're not gonna have very many dudes, and you don't really care what dudes you have die.
Yeah.
Next up is Into the God Eternals. 2 blue and black for and 2, so 5 mana total. Into the God Eternals deals 4 damage to target creature, and you gain 4 life equal to the damage dealt. Target player puts the top 4 of their library into the graveyard, and you amass 4. Yep. So it gives you a life buffer, it mills them, and you get to get a dude.
Exactly.
So it's pretty good for what it does for this deck.
So hopefully it just evens it out by that turn when you're on like the last end of an aggro deck. Be able to kill, gain a dude to block, and then also gain some life. And milling him at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty solid.
Super essential. Now, of course, with that, we do have the spell Into the Story. It's 5 blue, so 7 total. But the spell costs 3 less to cast if an opponent has 7 or more cards in their graveyard, which they will, as long as you don't do it with Ashiok. And it's instant. So you instantly draw 4 cards for 4 mana. And that is just insane, pretty much.
Yeah, it gives you so many options and opens up a whole lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Now, with that's the deck right there. And we have the 24 lands. We don't have a Buddy Land or a Temple, which is the sad part. So we're using 3 Dismal Backwaters, and then 4 Watery Graves as well.
And then otherwise you just have your islands and your swamps.
Yeah, exactly. Now we don't really have a sideboard. We just have honorable mentions, and the first one that we have is Thought Erasure, because why not? If you're gonna go against another control deck, you want to get rid of the hand for sure.
Yeah, Thought Erasure is real good.
Oh yeah.
For those that don't know, it is a blue and black for a sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card, and you surveil 1.
Yeah, sorry. I figured that everyone knew because I've been attacked by this card so much. It's like I hate it when it happens on turn 2 for sure.
It does a lot because you just get to search for, or you get to look through their hand and be like, you don't get this.
Yeah.
You don't get this. I want you to do what I want you to do. Next up is the Ventress Gargoyle. It is a blue and 1 for a 5/4 flyer. He can't attack unless the defending player has 7 or more cards in their graveyard. And he can't block unless you have 4 or more in your graveyard, or in your hand.
Yeah.
And then tap, each player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard. So he helps Mill to get you there for him to be able to do things. He's just he's a good person to put in against like an aggro deck because he's a 5/4 that can just help you.
Yeah. Because turn 2, you're gonna have 4 cards in your deck or in your hand. Hopefully, if you didn't have to mulligan down. But yeah, he's a 5/4 blocker for aggro.
And then later on, if you need to be a beater, you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Because sometimes you need to win that way.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. And the next one, of course, is Unmoored Ego. It's 1 blue and a black sorcery. Choose a name card, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, library for up to 4 copies of the card with the same name and exile them. Then shuffles their library, and then they draw a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. So you just need to get rid of their big dude main kill deck, and then you win, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get to name a card name. It's lands as well. So Field of the Dead, get out of there. Tired of seeing you.
Yeah. You do get to name Field of the Dead and not deal with it.
Yeah.
Or Golos.
Or Golos.
You can get out of my life too.
You can get out of the life. And also the fiery enchantment card that's going crazy right now too. Yeah. Just All of it.
All of them go in.
Those one card combos that win the game somehow.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
It's gross. And of course, there's 2 counters that mill the opponent. And the first one is Thought Collapse, 1 blue. Counter target spell, its controller puts the top 3 cards of the library in the graveyard. And of course, the next one, the new one, didn't say please. It's the same mana cost, and it does the exact same thing. Top 3 cards in their graveyard. So there you go. That's just more for if you need quick counters. I went with kill at first to go with Drowned Secrets and stuff, but countering and milling is, at the same time is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Now with that, hopefully old Milltown Road gets there. It takes you where you need to go and takes you there safely. But we'll see. Hopefully I'll be able to play some and show you all some gameplay of that on Arena for sure. And with that, hopefully you enjoyed your stay here at Geektopia Island. Goodbye.
Later. Also, guys, I just remind y'all to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to keep up to date on all our future content, make sure you click that bell. It'll give you all the notifications you need.
With that, we'd like to go ahead and give a big thank you to all our fans that support us through the year, and especially our Patreon support people. We do like to give a shout out to our Mythic and Above supporters, and that would be Dwayne Higgs. Thank you very much. We love you.